So I see IBKR and JBHT are two tickers that we're going to take a look at here today. Interactive brokers being the first of them. I just want to see for a moment whether that is or is not already on my watch list. Maybe I've been looking at this in a prior life. IBKR is not in fact on my watch list. That means they have to look from here. What are we going to do? So it looks like this thing is trading very closely to all-time highs, and maybe with earnings, we're going to get a breakout into new all-time highs. A lot of people will say, well, aren't we here for low time frame price action? We definitely are, but once again, I'm looking to simply save us time by marking out key levels which earnings volatility might bring us back to. So I have a couple of levels that I'm going to mark out here. And if we run into new all-time highs, right, if that happens, you want to be aware of how high this thing has the potential of basically flying. So let's add in the 1618 and the 1272 FIP. And I see that we're trading above these levels. So I'm going to add in the 2 FIP, but let's see on log scale, we're basically trading here. So see these levels here. Let's now go to a lower time frame, right? Let's now go to extended trading hours, and let's now see if we're getting a move anywhere close to levels of interest here. So it looks to me like we're basically trading in a big range. I'm going to take out this level for a moment, that previous quarterly high. Let's go back to the 5-minute here. Looks like we're trading in a big range at 122.6 at the moment, which I have a level above me at 130 and I have a level below me at 112, and I definitely don't want to do anything here short term. But let's just see if we can make it to either of these levels in kind of a logical way here. Then we'll also go over that other chart. First and foremost, let's see what have we done here really today. So this is price action from earlier today. I'm on extended hours, but this happened earlier. So it looks to me like we've made a high at 124.28. So that would be a level to get above, to retest, to hold above, and then to get to higher prices. That is the first order of business here. Those levels look so sexy, so far away. Yeah, they look far away, right? Check, but you know the value of being aware of levels far away from market price. So here's some secret intel. The best trades which you're gonna find is not at current market price. Not, because you're just doing business on terms of the market. You very much need to be prepared with your own plan, with your own levels. You can't just say, yeah, let me just market buy or market sell something on good luck. That is absolutely going to get you washed out of this market, and you're going to regret trying that. You definitely want to be aware of key levels here. So let's see, 124.28, that is the level to get above. And if this sees an extended downside from earnings, right? And this trades into 112.28 or this trades into 106.59. Guess what? I'm bullish. Simple, very simple. If this gets below that price, and then the moment it gets back above and holds that, that's a very bullish statement. So you can't call me bearish. I'm simply here for the percentage move to the upside. But that doesn't mean that I'm market buying here. Let's see. As a user also, so I don't even really know what interactive broker, well, obviously it's a broker, but I've never traded with them. So I couldn't really tell you anything from a user experience, but I appreciate the comments. Let's see if we can get a second chart in here as well. Let me just move out this snowflake chart. And what do we have here? JBHT, that is an unknown ticker to me, honestly speaking. Let's go back one. JB Hunt, JBHT. Never really looked at this. Let's see on a weekly time frame what this is looking at, or even a higher time frame. So if we're going to see an extended pump here, then coming back into this level could be possible, but just piling into anything here is incredibly risky. Wouldn't suggest it. This then likely becomes a wick and you might see something like this. So This is way too soon yet after earnings. And in general, I don't trade market out like after hours, but at least if the direction is going to be set, then we can look to direction this potentially into new all-time highs tomorrow, 130.8. And if we get above that level, I mean, 181 is in the cards, so that is a big move if this does choose breakout into new all-time highs. Now, definitely want to be aware of this JB Hunt stuff as well. So one thing to look at, for example, now is something like this. And on JB Hunt, let's see what we have here. One level at 151.14. Let's see. Upside room to 186. Just gonna put these things on my watch list at any point in the future if they come to levels of my interest. Let's go to the 15-minute here, or even on a 5-minute. Extend the trading hours. Good. So I have very simple marked out 2 levels below me, $17 below currently traded price. Look, if you see something like this, I've recently seen it on the lower time frames on SIM, for example, as well. I would call that a bull market nuke, which a bull market is characterized by a stair step up, then a huge elevator down, and then a recovery. That is what you're going to see in bull markets. And that also means that you got to be aware of these good potential spots where that nuke could end. So I'm going to put these 2 things on my watch list, to be honest. The JBHT, that can be part of it, and interactive brokers as well. Good enough. Let's see. Both of these charts are at least I have no preference. I've not used any of these companies or anything, but it looks like decent charts, both trading very closely to all-time highs. So I'm here to buy pullbacks until proven differently. They hit 128 on my chart. It still says 127.5, but I would maybe need to look on all different brokers. Welcome everybody joining up. Traditional earnings stream. So these are potentially 2 tickers that we're going to play tomorrow during the live trading as well. Kind of already seeing if any direction is going to be set. This would be a perfect after earnings play, like literally, like give me a massive nuke down that stops out everybody who is still here somewhere long with stops under any of these lows. Trap breakout shorts, gets back above 151, and then run the highs. Something like that would be absolutely impeccable. So from a perspective of going long here, not interested. There is simply not enough room to my next level that gives me a decent R. If I see something like this, it's literally, you can go and find that meme, stair step up, elevator down. That is what this price action is looking like to me. I mean, 124.28, that is the high that we've made earlier today. Well, we've opened up earlier that day, so maybe this is also a level to look at, but it's a minor one. Basically, the open price of today's regular trading hours. So I have 124.28 and 125.05 as like plausible higher lows at this point. And this, I'm simply going to stick to my plan. So I am only willing to play after such an elevator down scenario. After people, like I said, get stopped out with stops anywhere below any of these lows, that's not safe. So I'm going to put that in as an alert on JBHT at 151.14. And you definitely want to be prepared for the scenario where that elevator down does not stop for a while and where you basically get back below 140. So from a higher time frame perspective, I've checked this. That is a good level based on the quarterly, and it's definitely possible to go down even lower. But for now, I mean that those would be 2 good levels to already have in your chart. So let's see, what is the low here? 168.5. Yeah, that is only still taking the stop losses below this swing point here. That is not enough yet to me for an elevator down. I also want to check actually if anything else had its earnings. I think Charles Schwab had earnings before market open today, and I remember saying yesterday on the analyst meeting that I wanted to check that out as well. So here we are. Let's see if that had any kind of Charles Schwab SCHW, right? What did we do here today? I actually haven't checked yet. So this is exactly why I wanted to check to see what we've been doing. Let's zoom out here because Charles Schwab, I recall, and people who have been in Penny Boys for, I would say, more than a year at this point, can probably recall that I've had both short and long setups on Charles Schwab, and that mostly has done very well. So this is also a simple scenario for me. I'm literally just looking at holes in this chart, which I'm seeing that we're coming down from earnings. And this is a different scenario still than Nike because this chart is more bullish than the Nike chart. But nonetheless, my idea here would be simple. Let's see some lower levels. And if I don't see these lower levels, guess what? I'm not going to get my position in. But something like this would seem absolutely impeccable to me. So 56, 56, get below, get back above, and then make a sequence here of 1, 2, 3 higher lows before breaking out, which an after earnings nuke move to the downside. I've had a specific class with my with the people in the coaching section in Penny Boys here about exactly that. Is it a good buy? Yes or no? It's very simple. Depends on the bigger picture outlook here. So I would say just because it came down today, 60, let's see, just because this nuked down 10% today doesn't make it any long-term buy yet for me. So this could, same thing as what I was looking at here on this lower time frame on JB Hunt, literally the same. I'm seeing a stair step up and a steep correction into a higher low, get everybody really silent and then run the highs would be a most preferable scenario here. So let's see, 56, 56. I just really wanted to touch upon this quickly and see what price action would have done after earnings. Like I said, I haven't played this, touched this in more than a year, but I'm interested in this because I previously got some very nice moves on this. So I am simply going to put in one horizontal level in this whole chart, and this is either going to come to me or it's not, right? Most definitely not playing any shorts, any options on this. So if you think, let me be a smart ass here and take an option some months out and target somewhere mid 50s, I mean, that's completely on you. That's not at all what I'm saying. Because in fact, if this Charles Schwab thing, and that is a big if this actually now gets back above 69.24, I might be interested to play long from there as well. So if you're playing options long term and you get yourself into something like this, that's also not it. So then you might say, well, if you're bullish, if you get back above 69.24, let me go ahead and buy here at 67 tomorrow. Not what I'm saying, right? I'm saying you need to see that confirmation first, because if you're buying here, you're buying on a break of support, and that might very well teleport you way down lower. So typical scenario, oh, earnings, nuke, I'm new here, let me go ahead and buy that. 2 days later, 2 weeks later, subscription ended because you've been holding down some of these things into lower levels, which if you're just paying attention, I'm saying first off, like that's the area where I would be very willing to look for a long position. So save yourself, I would say, the trouble of playing options on this. It's not that I have anything against it. However, I really do stand by the idea that options are, just because everybody does it, right? Just because your neighbor is doing it doesn't make it a smart idea, right? And I know, of course, that is kind of speaking against the whole point of being a stock and options server, but I'm simply here defending the equity long standpoint, which is simpler, way more forgiving, and I would argue like easier to gain profitability on. Now, let's see. So interactive brokers is not really coming yet into one of these two levels, so that's just probably a matter of time. And JB Hunt, if it just wants to hold around here, that is also not too interesting. I'm going to get this Charles Schwab chart out. I just want to leave an alert here at 69.24 and at 56.56. So if we're going to get either this or this. Let me go back to just these two charts here, because those are the ones that should give us some price action here and now, right? At least that's what we can hope for. Let me also open another tab and see if anything else has earnings. I'm very much a fan of basically just scanning around, seeing what has earnings, and if it's an unknown name, that's perfectly fine to me as well. I'm willing to trade anything that has a decent setup, regardless of the name. So it doesn't have to be IBKR or JB Hunt for me. Let's see, earnings calendar. So we have some more things for sure that have their earnings at the moment. Let me just put these two things small to the side and put in a third chart. And potentially we're going to bump into some tickers here that might give us some opportunities in the days to come. So we had Schwab, 2 alerts are set. That's done. Let's look at Pinnacle Financial Partners. What is that thing? PNFP. That is supposed to have its earnings. Let's see. And for the people that wonder, like, how did you come up with that name? It's very simple. I can drop this link in the free chat. You have access to this Nasdaq's earnings calendar kind of vibe here. So needless to say, everywhere where it shows a little moon, that's after hours earnings. So PNFP was up in here in the list, Pinnacle Financial. Let's see, PNFP, what is that showing me? First, got to zoom out a little bit on a quarterly. That looks like a decent chart to me. That actually looks like a more decent chart to me than this, at least for now. Not to say now pile in, but I'm gonna be bullish on this. Target's gonna be back into the all-time high, and I'm gonna look for retests to go long. Let's see. Anybody here was on mic? No problem. If you want to talk to me, talk to me. Who is that? Is that Stussy or Chag maybe? Not sure. No problem, man. At all. So PNFP is something that I'm going to add to the watch list. It's very simple. Let's see. So how do you find tickers? How do you create a watch list? Well, the lazy way to go about it is simply to see what has earnings, see if the chart is playable, which this immediately looks playable to me. So 86.28, that's a level which I had on because it's basically the open price of the last quarter. So let me go to the 4-hour time frame here and see what we've got. So I'm going to put an alert there, but I'm also going to put some alerts lower down, because just because I'm bullish and you just market buy here, I'm going to tell you what's end up happening. You're most likely to lose money, right? So if you market buy here, because the thing is, you don't know where to put your stop loss. And even if this goes up, if you forget to take profit and it does something like this, you're going to be frustrated with the stock market. Like, once again, I'm here to basically tell you that these lower levels, to anybody and people that have basically, I would say, have repented to these lines, they know that they're important, but the base idea is, well, you're looking down so low. And then my counter argument is, well, yeah, because I'm not looking to get frustrated with the market, essentially. So I'm looking here, 83.97, 80.36. Those are going to be some alerts for me. So nothing more than alerts. And we're going to be playing that together in the premium section, either in a live trading session and or in a lifetime session and or in my coaching. So let me put some alerts here. 86.28, 83.97, and 80.36. That's going to be it for me. I don't want to have too many levels. I know I could have some other levels here as well, but for now, I'm going to keep it simple. And I would consider this literally from an equity long swing trader standpoint. My job is done here. I've got my levels of interest, and it's basically time to move on to the next sticker. Like, that's the thing. I will have a big watch list, tons of alerts, tons of things that never come to my levels, and then tons of things that will come to my levels. And I'm going to be playing the things that come to my levels. So hope you're taking note here for Pinnacle. I can maybe also put these levels in the chat if that is helpful. 86.28, 83.97, and 80.36 for PNFP. So for the people that are free and new, you might ask yourself, well, what to do with these levels? And then my answer is you come and join my coaching section. I'm going to tell you all about what to do from these specific levels here. And let's go to the earnings calendar and see what is next up here. So Interactive Brokers, JB Hunt, Pinnacle. What is Hancock? Hancock Whitney, epic, good name. HNCK was that, or was I mistaken here? HWC, sorry. HWC. And what does this chart show us? Another bullish one. Let's see. This is got to zoom out a little bit to the quarterly. Like yet again, like what is the general tendency that we see here? I'm literally taking whatever chart, whatever thing that has earnings, and it's either close to an all-time high or looking to make it. So it looks to me like we might be onto something here because this thing is breaking out into new all-time highs. This Hancock Whitney Corporation thing, whatever it wants to be. So let me add that into my watch list as well. Put that here. Right. I want to go and check on a lower time frame now how we're going to act at 56.06 because my perspective here, very simple, is that this has room to run way, way higher than an all-time high. So I'm just zooming out here. There's no reason why it should stop here. And I'm pointing my attention here specifically to this move down. So let's see, 67.72 is one of my, well, it's going to be basically my first swing target there. So 67.72. Let's see. And the next level above that is already we're already looking at a triple digit stock here. Again, if you just take this information and market buy, you're likely to lose money. So let's go to extended trading hours here and let's see what's going on with this thing. See, this already like it's gapping up into new all-time highs. So this is fine, but yeah, this is also one of those stair step up scenarios which could see an elevator down. But nonetheless, we're breaking out into all-time highs. So I'm going to keep 56.06 on my radar. And just for low time frame purposes for tomorrow, we'll also be taking a look at this gap. But yeah, this is something to come back to. So just buying here some gap above an all-time high, that seems quite illiquid to me and not the way to go. But maybe during regular trading hours, if I'm just looking at price action here, I mean, these candlesticks are decent. There is this is now the first time that I'm going to add in any indicator, so just volume to see what kind of volume do we have here. This is most certainly playable volume, so let's keep that on our radar. 56.06, it would be kind of ideal to see some regular trading hour price action through this level, get back above it, and then basically see that we're holding and consolidating on top of that level. Then the breakout into yeah, basically price discovery could lead us quite far here to 67. So that is HWC as well, and I think maybe let's take another one as well. So just really powering through some tickers, kind of making the most out of everybody's half an hour here, hopefully, because making the most out of half an hour here is not you going to your Robinhood or whatever and just like trying something. That's not making the most out of it. So let's see. FULT, Fulton Financial. Let's see what we got. Fult. Let's see. Also, I just like to start off on a quarterly time frame to see what we've got going. Again, same thing. What do we see? New all-time highs. What a chart, right? And so that's kind of the point of the stock market, just going to the up and to the right is kind of proven if we just look at everything that has its earnings here today. This also looks good to me. Now, the fact that all these things look good to me doesn't mean that you just go ahead and market buy. I'll say that once again. but I think this has room to run to above 20 and then maybe to 26.09. So let me just take this volume out for a moment and then go to the lower time frames. Let's see. We have extended trading hours on. So 1745, let's see, that is going to be a level for me of interest. So if we get back to this previous all-time high and flip that level support, I wouldn't be against a move from that level into a 20% move, something like that. So let me just clean this up, put a level here and place an alert on it. Like that. And if we do come lower, we'll reassess, but I think that's a very good level to essentially hold. So this is now not what I'm suggesting, but in case you're not even looking for additional confirmations, it's not a bad trade setup, I would say, to just essentially have a limit bid at 1745, a target at 20.83, and basically stopping out at a 2-to-1 risk reward. So that is something which could be a limit order, but I'm going to look for some more confirmations there exactly at that price. So 1745. I don't want to be just filled in a limit order, even though this is a decent trade setup. So entry 1745, stop 1576, target 20.83. That's about, let's see, how big of a move is that to the downside? So that's a 10% move. So for example, with 10% of a portfolio, that's a 1% risk for a 2% reward. That kind of works for basics. Good. Like, I'm very happy to do this earnings stream. This incentivizes me to expand my watch list so that we have more tickers, more levels, and more optimal things for the premium section to basically be occupied with. Good. I'm gonna keep all these kind of things and annotations on my chart. Notice how I'm completely not interested at doing anything at market price, right? That's a big takeaway, if anything. Let's see, do we have anything in the chat here? I see I've been missing out on some back and forth. Let's see. Too much to keep up with, y'all, but that's awesome to see you're all in here. So we've ran through all of this. If you've been taking notes, you've got levels, optimal levels on JBHT, IBKR, PNFP, HWC, FULT. I can easily run through one more. Let's see, equity bank shares Inc. And this also, it's a nice earnings calendar. The things that have the highest market cap, you can basically sort by market cap. What does that do? Well, the higher the market cap, essentially the more steady things are going to move. So that's why I was primarily interested today actually in Schwab and to a less degree to, for example, IBKR and JBHT. And things with a lower market cap, such as, for example, EQBK. So what is the market cap here? 561 million. So that's a $500 million market cap company. That is by no means seen as very, very large. That is going to trade more like an altcoin, like a shitcoin. That means that the percentage moves up and down are going to be generally bigger. You can definitely get good trade setups on this as well, but you want to make sure that you know what you're doing, because generally speaking, right, even if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing on something like Schwab, chances are that you're going to get hurt less badly than if you're doing something randomly on something with a lower market cap. So EQBK, let's take a look at that as well. Equity bank shares, all these new tickers, right? Let's see. My God, you've guessed it, on course for all-time highs. I guess that proves the point that the stock market in general is just, hyper bullish. Let's see, 42.55, that's where we're going to, but maybe not in one straight line. Let's zoom out here for a moment to the daily. Very simple. I'm going to have some levels on here. And if tomorrow by 10, between 10 and 11, I get an alert on anything, for example, like this, we'll be aware of it. So I'm just going to put 3 levels down here, 3 stair steps down. And at any of these levels, I'm interested essentially to take a position and to aim for the all-time high. But I'm just going to keep it as simple as that, put some alerts here. And basically, like that's half an hour of prepping for regular trading hours and finding levels, tickers, etc. So I'm going to put this on the watch list as well, EQBK. I think that's running through enough tickers, EQBK. And it is getting quite late here, so I'm going to call it a day, but hope I often get the question like, could we please get some more of your lines and levels? So here you are. Those are plenty of lines and plenty of levels, just powering through them. This is absolute routine at this point, of course. So we'll keep doing this, and I hope to get some alerts maybe tomorrow between 10 and 11 on anything that we've basically been putting alerts to today. So good. That does the job, I would say, and I thank you all very much for spending your like your after hours here, your half an hour after hours with me here. Truly appreciate that. Like I say that, and you might think that it's just like, yeah, it's just something standard to say. Sure, you appreciate that. No, like I truly do. Like I'm very well aware that you're all individuals with an own schedule, and you're deciding to take 30 minutes out of your day to spend your time here today with me. That is well appreciated. And I hope to see you, if not already, in the premium section. But I think most of you, or if not all of you here, are actually in premium with me. So good. And make sure to have all alerts set here on IBKR as well. So that's to make sure that we're prepared for example, something where it fakes out, then drops down, then by tomorrow we're trading down lower. So that arms us with that basically already puts us 1-0 up, like we're putting ourselves into a position of power. Good. That is going to be it for me, though. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to end the StreamYard. This is all going to be recorded and uploaded in the Discords. Well, Discords, just the Discord, the Penny Boys Discord, obviously. Awesome. I'm going to end the stream here.